So I know y'all here from my IG trailer, and I appreciate you for coming and checking out my story. And this is why you should never ignore red flags. This is my story. So let's jump right into it. So around the same time last year, I went to something called BRT. It stands for Beach Road Trip, right? So me and my boys decided to go. I went 2019, but I went with family. So I was like, this time I want to go with the guys, right? You know what I'm saying? So we touched down out there, and around Saturday afternoonish, we end up going to a spot named Kelsey's. Kelsey's is dope. All you can eat brunch spot. I think it's like $50 per person. Food is good, and I'm talking about all you can eat brunch. What you know about that? But anyway, when we get in there, I'm seeing girls left and right coming through. Mind you, before we even get in there, I'm in the parking lot. Girls is bagging me because when I'm out there, I'm looking like a football player. You know what I'm saying? Got my chains on. My guys got their chains on and stuff like that. So we looking like some lit dudes. So when I get in there, I'm looking around. I'm seeing different flavors. I'm like, yo. So when we sit down, we see a bunch of girls walking, and these are the bunch of girls, and this is how they look. But I'm not really trying to get their attention. I'm just, eating and seeing the, you know, different flavors. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, me and my boys finished eating, and we leaving now. We headed to the car. We in the car for a little bit trying to figure out our next move. So as we in the car waiting by the light now, the same girls that we seen in there that you see in the picture right now is the same girls that came out. And I'm like, yo, bro, pull the car over. Pull the car over. Niggas hop out. My boy's bag, and then I get the one that I seen I had my eyes on. So we exchanged numbers and everything is going good. You know what I'm saying? They not from out here. Some of them from Philly and the rest of them from North Jersey. So when we exchange numbers, they're trying to figure out what they're trying to do. So everybody's having a good time regardless. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making sure we're gonna have a good time. So Cici, the one that I basically started dating, she said she had to drop one of her friends home. So the girl that's in the back with the shades on, the only one in the picture with the shades on, is the one that she had to take back, you know? So she said she's gonna pull back up. And I said, all right, cool. Do what you gotta do. So me and my boys hold back to the telly. We chilling, right? So the girl texts me and she was like, yo, we pulling back up. I said, where? She said, yeah. I said, I say that. So as she starts to pull back up, I tell her where we at. And I said, yo, let's come to the hotel, let's pregame, and then we gonna head out. She said, yo, I'm with that. I said, all right, good. So she come to the hotel, we pregame, and they have a good vibe though. They're not like girls that stuck up or not like friendly or anything like that. They just look like they just want to have fun. And I'm gonna make sure that. So we in the room now, we chilling. Um, CC says, she wants to go out. The rest of them's like, yeah, let's go out and have fun. The weather's still nice. It's about maybe 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, give or take. I'm really not too sure at the time, but we end up finding a spot on the strip, right? And we end up going in there, and we was like the only ones that was in there, which was kind of weird because I think everybody was at the BRT event. We kind of missed that, but we didn't really care because we had company. So this is how it looked, and we vibing in the spot. Um, the bill ended up going up to like 1100. We ran that bill up. I don't know why we did that, but we did it. um, and they had fireworks too. And at this moment, everything going right with me and Cici. We vibing right, and I did notice a little red flag in the beginning. She's smoking vape. I'm not saying vapes are like the biggest red flag, but it's kind of like, yo, she's smoking that thing every single second. I don't know if it had THC in it, but it got annoying. And I noticed this girl can drink. And I'm not talking about little drinking. She could drink like a lot, like a lot. Drink after drink, shot after shot. And I'm like, is Shorty gonna be good for the rest of the night? Because I wasn't sure. But as you can see, when we in the spot, me and her vibing, everything going good. Now, what I noticed is Cece was the mother out the group because I noticed when I bagged her, she was the one that was driving and she was the one that was calling the shots. She was like, "Oh, we going here? I gotta take my friend back." So she was the DD, designated driver, and she was the mom out the group. So she was the one basically calling the shot, and all the girls was gonna attend. Period. Point blank. So men, pay attention to that. Always go for the mom out the group. If you in a pack and you running a 3-man or a 4-man, and you the type of guy who knows how to lead, go for the mom out the group because you control the whole situation. Trust me, I learned. I learned from that. So since I got the mom out the group, the night's still young. It's maybe like 8, 9 o'clock. Cici said, "Yo, there's a pool party by Harris. Harris? There's another one close to Golden Nugget off the strip. They be throwing some lit pool parties, but that's for like the mixy ratchet crew. Like that's where all the black people be at. I ain't gonna lie. This is a cheaper hotel because it's off the strip." So she said, "Let's go to the pool party," and I'm like, "Yo, I'm with it. We out. Let's go." You know what I'm saying? So we end up going to the pool party. Pool party lit. But the thing that I noticed, right, as we go into the pool party, the friends are still with us, right? So if you look at the picture, the one that I circled, this shorty in the pink bikini, she had a husband. Believe it or not, she had a husband, right? So the husband kept calling her phone, I'm guessing, and she was in the car with me and my bros, and she was like, "Yo, hurry up and get to the spot. My man keeps calling me." So I'm like, "Why don't you just pick up?" She was like, "Nah, I don't want him to hear the guys in the back." This is why I have trust issues with women going on girls trips because there be that one girl who just be doing the most devious, outlandish shit, right? So when we get to the pool party, she's like, "Oh, don't worry, babe. You know I'm here with my girls. We just got to the pool party." In my head, I'm just like, "Ain't no way, bro." And she is the main one that was in the pool party throwing ass. I'm talking about in the pool, just throwing it. And I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy." Now, when we in the pool, everybody vibing, having fun. I ain't gonna front. It was a little chilly in there. Niggas were shivering, but they had a hot tub, and we went in the hot tub. But it finally caught up to Cici. What finally caught up to her was the alcohol. We were in the pool, and Shorty just started throwing up everything, and she tried to use. It was disgusting. She was using the water from the pool to try to wash it off. She threw up half in the cup and another half in another cup. And I ain't gonna lie, I was turned off from there. And I was like, "Yo, let me get you some water." She's like, "Nah, it's fine, it's fine." I'm like, "Yo, no more drinking." I took the cup from her. She pulled the cup back. She's like, "Nah, I'm fine, I'm fine." Bro, red flags. Man, pay attention to women who just excessively drink. Like, she was drinking like a fish. Like, I'm like, man, she has a drinking problem for a fact. It's crazy. But anyway, that happened, and it was time to basically go. The dudes was getting tired. So the other girls ended up leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because it's three of us and it was like four of them. So they ended up leaving. So I told Shorty to come back, to the hotel with us and the other friend. And, we was chilling. One thing led to the next, but I basically finessed and I said, "Yo, if you want to freshen up, because, we was outside on the sand, outside in the sun. I mean, she threw up on herself. So I was like, "You want to shower? You can shower. I got extra clothes for you." Because she's like, "I don't got no clothes." I was like, "I got you. Don't worry about that. You can hang your stuff out, let it dry." Finesse, ran the shower, and I basically did my thing. But unfortunately, she was on her last day of her period. You know, hey, period don't stop nothing but a sentence. You feel me? So, I did what I did. I ain't get to finish. I ain't get to, unload. But it is what it is. And then after the shower, she was still drunk. Like in the shower, you smell the alcohol breath. I was just like, I was a little turned off, but I wanted to get mine. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed after the shower, she just picked up the vape and she kept vaping. And I'm like, bruh. And she drank again too before she was going to sleep. So that kind of turned me off. But this is how the vape looked. And I told her after she left with her friend that, she forgot her vape in her shorts. And that's the vape. So I don't know how people do this all the time. As you can see in the text message, I was like, "You definitely have to see me now because you're vaping in your shorts." Like she left her shorts. And you can see what she said. "Oh my God, that's where it was. I was looking for it. I'm seeing you. The question is when." and the vapes are bad for me. She knows the vapes is bad for her, but she still wants to smoke the damn vapes. And I said, you got something in your schedule, right? Because I work every day. I'm a busy dude. Now, as I get back to Brooklyn, I realized I'm like, yo, I ain't going front. Cece's pretty cool, and I gave her the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, when you go out and then you have a certain group of friends, and then that friend every time we go out they get lit. I feel like Cici was like that, so I was like, she's probably not the drunk, super drunk type all the time, but I'm still trying to, give her the benefit of the doubt, right? So I get back to Brooklyn. We tried to plan for her to come back out here, well, to New York because she was in Jersey and her birthday is coming up. So I was like, this is a perfect time to plan this out, right? So I told her, I said, yo, come out here and basically I'm gonna cover everything, right? Everything was going according to plan. So as we started to plan the trip, I started to notice she would mention her financial situations. You know, it kind of started turning me off a little bit because I'm just like, why you keep mentioning this? It was kind of like she was throwing it out there to see if I was gonna bite the bait, but I really wasn't trying to. I was kind of just ignoring it. I'm like, yo, that's your problems, not mine. But this is the messages. She showed me a screenshot of, I guess, what she posted. Already paid registry fee, which was 150. Uniform for one of her twins. Mind you, she had two kids. I know I left that part out. But yeah, she had two kids, boy and a girl. They was twins, not identical fraternal. Um, yeah. So you see by the messages, it said, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I have much on my plate, and I'm only one person, and I'm not working full time." So she was basically saying like she don't want to come out here, which I said I was going to cover everything clearly. She said, respectfully, with all this going on, and I can't allow a man to take me out and spend unnecessary money when this is just one of the twin sports bills, especially because I'm not working. Like, how is cheerleading $575? So I want y'all to really pay attention to that because this girl used to randomly flex and say she would go out with her friends and spend $1,500 on a bill, like a food bill. And in my head, I'm just like, this is the same girl flexing like she got bread. Like, make that make sense to me. But then you complaining about the necessary things you have to pay for your kids. I don't know. I guess she was trying to feel some type of way. But you'll hear more of that in the recording later on. Save that. I thought she was a big bowler shot caller, but I guess not. Now, other things to watch out for, guys, is her friends, bro. And I'm gonna show you why. Now, as I'm trying to book the hotel for her to come out here and stuff like that. Because I kept, you know, you can say I basically pressured her into pulling up. You know, I basically shown her different spots, and I was like, "Yo, I got a spot. I know a guy. It's private stay. Those who know, you know. It's Manhattan. It's people who rent out their apartments, no deposit. It's kind of like Airbnb, a little cheaper, but it's affordable basically, right? I'm not rich. I never claimed to be, so I'm always trying to save money. So, by the text message, it says those hotels, because she was trying to give me other spots, right? Men, if you're paying, you always lead the dance. Never let her pick. If this, especially not your girl, you pick because you're paying. And I said those hotels finna be 450 a night, and you might not even get something with a view because she wanted a view. She's saying he's saying 242, and I'm looking at it. I can see the one you picked before, decide on it. While I'm waiting for him to send me pictures. So I'm waiting for the guy to send me pictures of the place. Because it's a thing called private stay. That's basically what I just explained to y'all. Well, make sure you send it to me. I just trust me, you good. I want to see it today. I'm not staying there without seeing it. Laugh out loud. So she's being real, gung ho on going where she wants to go, and she wants a specific spot, right? Which I don't mind, but shorty, you not paying, I am. So watch out for her friends because her friends basically dictated where, you know, she should stay. So look at this other message. Basically saying she was knocked out. Go on. She was saying, I guess she was knocked out because I was asleep. She said, "Oh my God," her gay best friend said that the room looks horrible. He was like, "What the fuck?" Like when I sent it to him, he was like, "Ciara, is that?" I'm like, I don't know what she was texting. He gonna say you spent too much money on your other date. That's why you had changed the room. I said, "Oh my God," like not even funny. I was looking at it because I'm bored and at work, and it looks like a pool and it's nice. He can give it a shot. Doesn't look bad. He thinks beside actually bedroom. So she's basically listening to her friends, where her friends is telling her where to go. The gay dude. The whole date thing that she mentioned was I was on a date with a girl maybe 2 weeks prior to her coming, and I took her to some nice restaurant because I'm a single dude. I'm dating. Sue me. Like what the hell? And she seen my story and she screenshotted and sent it to her friends, and her friend said something. I don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You'll be on dates with niggas too. So the difference between dudes dating is they understand. They're gonna tell their friend like, "Yo, low investments in the beginning, right? Unless she's gonna give back reciprocity. If she's not giving anything in return, you're wasting your time. That means she's just using you, and she didn't really like you. Because I'm gonna say this: pussy is not the investment. Technically, it is, but y'all get my drift. Don't think that your pussy holds more power than money, because it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I could get another you tomorrow. So we ain't on that. So we're going to skip to when she actually touched down in New York, right? I took her to Ocean Prime and I spent $300 on that bill, maybe 360 because of the tip and everything like that. Food is good, so it's absolutely worth it. I'm not mad at that. So look at us, how we look, taking a nice little stroll, and everything was fine and good, you know. Afterwards, we went to a different spot, and I spent another 160. She wanted hookah. I got more drinks, and I'm like I said before, shorty can drink. But the whole thing was on my mind was get her back to the hotel so I could blow her back out. And your boy worked his magic as we went back. You know, I told her, freshen up, which she did. She got in the bed, and she was a little nervous and shy. But she did mention to me that she was on her period before she came. Yes, I know. I said it before when we was in AC. She was on her period, but this time she was on her period again. It was literally a month after the fact. So I just caught her on the wrong time, right? So, like I said before, period don't start nothing but a sentence. Your boy ran that red light. You know what I'm saying? She was on the first, second day. So yeah, it's like catch up. Too much information. Yeah, so I'll stop there. So I slept like a baby after that, though. I'm not gonna lie. I was tucked. We woke up, woke up pretty late. We had breakfast. I think I got bacon, egg, and cheese, and we just chilled. Watched movies here and there and chilled. And then, we went out. But prior to us going out, I forgot to mention, she started crying to me. Right? We had a deep, intimate conversation. She basically mentioned like her ex boyfriend, which is gonna come up again. So men, be careful when women mention their ex boyfriends a lot. Like they're not over them. I don't know why she kept mentioning him so much, but I'll let you know why. So this is us out eating, and we were enjoying ourselves. Clearly, she looks great. She looks real good. Can't knock that. She's a pretty looking chick, but it'd be the pretty ones that's crazy. So after that, I took her on a stroll to Manhattan. You know, being that it was her last day coming up, so I just said, let's go out and enjoy ourselves. Um, we did a professional photo shoot, and this is how the pictures came out. It was more pictures, but I didn't want to show those because it was kind of split. Her ass cheeks were showing. I remember one dude, it was hilarious. Random sidebar. We was walking in Manhattan, and some random dude, he was like, "God damn!" when she walked by because her ass cheeks was out. Not my bitch. I would not have my shorty outside like that. So she could do what she want. I didn't really care. Mind you, I'm reading the room now. Everything was going splendid. Well, no attitude, nothing. She's still on that vape shit, so it's whatever. Didn't really give a shit. I knew from the fact she wasn't gonna be my girl. When she kept talking about her ex, I understand people need to heal, but the way she was talking about it and then started crying really made me think different. And I was like, yeah, nah, this is not gonna really last long. This is a fun time, not a long time type of girl, right? So now the day comes, we get home, another nightcap, blew that back out, watch another movie, went to sleep. The day comes for her to leave. Her train was supposed to leave in the afternoon, so we got up, got breakfast, and we headed to 42nd Street, Port Authority, and we waited for her train to come. And we talked, vibed, and when it was time for her to leave, we hugged and kissed. And when I left, she sent me this video. Now, did I feel bad? Sort of, kind of, you know. But this is how I replied. So she put, "I want you to be back in." She said, "I want to be back in your arms. I felt so safe. Thank you for healing me." Just pulled off. I said, "Oh, babe, me being all nice and shit because I am just a good dude overall, because I care. That's me being caring, you know. But I never want a woman to feel to get too deep involved with me and I play with her emotions. Trust me, I know the feeling and it doesn't feel good. Now this went downhill very fast, right? So everything seemed good, but she consistently kept bringing up her ex in text messages. So I'll show you here. This is what she put. She put, "You know what the problem is my ex was the only person to ever make me feel butterflies, and I haven't felt them since." Now, why would a shorty talk to me about her ex like that? That means she's not over him. So the messages that she put, like, "Oh, thank you for healing me," I guess I made her think about her ex more. Because I ain't do no healing. If anything, I made you think about that dude more. That's besides the point. I'm never gonna get too jealous of another dude who had her before me. Because it's like, yeah, you left the imprint on her, bro. I get that. She puts, "So until somebody makes me feel butterflies, they aren't for me, and maybe that will never happen again." So she already writing herself out between us, and I already knew that. And I put, "Understood and trust, love. You gonna be good. Time heals. I'm good now, but I know that feeling that I'm looking for and I haven't found it since." So she's kind of just basically blatantly telling me, "You not him, nigga. You're not him." And then she said, "We can finish our therapy later. I'm drinking today. Fuck that." Now, there you go with the drinking problem again. There y'all go. The proof is in the pudding. Like men, like I said before, pay attention to women who drink obsessively, because that's a problem. There's something, a deeper rooted issue there that you have to drown yourself in alcohol to try to get over it. And I said, "Don't drive Uber though." Of course not. I don't ever drive. So I guess she's a safe driver, drinker ish person. She said, "I might call you drunk." And I laughed. Now, things start going downhill again. She puts this post: "You were the only person who made me feel butterflies, and until I find that again, I will continue being alone. So until somebody makes me feel butterflies, they aren't for me, and maybe that will never happen again." The same thing she said to me. She basically said she's going to post it, and I asked, "You going to post it?" I did. "Where are the butterflies?" My reply, laugh out loud, "They outside." Like, shorty, you not gonna try to finesse me and make me feel any type of way. You're not doing it. She just miserable, right? Now, guys, this is the part we've all been waiting for. This is when everything hits the fan. This is when she shows her true colors. That she just wanted money. Well, she wanted more than that, but this is the tell sign. Look at this message here. "You know, you never once offered to pay, I guess, for my nails." Of course not. Like, shorty, I paid for the hotel for the 2 days he was there. That was about 500. Then I paid for the food. That was 360. Then I paid for the other spot. That was 160, and any other miscellaneous shit that was there. I basically spent like you can say $1,200 since you've been there for 2 days. 2 days, y'all. Why am I offering to pay for your nails when they're your nails? Like you, women. Anyway, and you're not my girl too, so I'm definitely not gonna do that. Then she says, "That's another thing I don't like. Hair. You don't offer any like female things I handle. You don't try to cover it." Oh, hold on, guys. Isn't this the same chick who said, "Yo, me and my friend go out and spend $1,500 on a bill"? Y'all gonna hear it. It's coming up. I got proof of everything, like I said. Then she says, "So that's why I'm like, there no way I'm going Friday and you don't contribute to nothing in my life." Okay. Then she also says, "Like I've told you multiple times, I'm getting my hair done, nails done, and lashes, and nothing." Laugh out loud. See, that's the dry begging. Like you're subliminally throwing it out there to like, "Oh, I'm getting this done, and it's for you, right?" Now, if you're doing it and say, "I want to look nice for you, daddy," oh yeah, I don't mind paying for it. But women always say, "I do it for myself." Then if you do it for yourself, pay for it with your own fucking money. Until you're my girl, I'm not doing it. Period. Anyway, unless I'm feeling generous, but most of the time I'm not, because who you to tell me? She says, "Like, are we were dating and you're only covering things when I'm in your face? You never be hair like hair. You go on for lunch or any bills or nails." And I think she's drunk. She's texting me like retarded. Y'all see it, right? I'm not tweaking. So I was trying to give you a moment and I was observing, but you didn't offer one. And I don't have to ask the man I'm talking to, especially because we already took it there and got close by having sex on my period and don't even matter. Why do women think that sex equals money? I know why. Because they think their pussy has a price tag on it. In that case, prostitution. And she also says, "But I shouldn't have to ask you for nail or hair eyelash money. We didn't get to comment on that, but that's another big issue I have with you. It's no closed mouth, don't get fed. You should want to offer to pay for my nails so I don't have to, you know?" Guys, that's just a broke woman texting me. Ill, disgusting. And now we go on to the next text. "So that's why I should said you don't be being the man I need you to be because you never once offered and we are long distance, so you would think you would try to carry more weight, but you didn't and don't. You just watch me pay for everything. You can't even say, 'Hey, Cici, let me take the nails off your plate.' That's one of the biggest things." Gentlemen, gentlemen, I want you to understand the type of woman that you're dealing with and messing with or in relations with. Once they start acting like this and feeling entitled, it's a deeper rooted issue. You know, this is the same girl who wanted to randomly flex and saying, "Oh, I pay for this and I pay for that." But then you're telling the next dude to pay for this and pay for that. I thought you got it. She doesn't. The fact that I even have to say it, cut you off over it, a problem, and you never offer to even pay for my nails. Like, bro, she keeps mentioning this nail thing. Like, what the hell? What? How much? How much is your nails, shorty? Like, I would think your nails is like $1,000 now because it's like, damn. Like that's playing in my face. We are grown. You can't even offer to pay my nails. Laugh my ass off. It's a joke to me. Closed mouth don't get fed my ass. A man is supposed to say, "Hey, let me pay for your nails." The fuck? Okay. So if you know what a man's supposed to say, why don't you have that man that's doing that for you? Hmm. I wonder why. Let's continue. "I had to say this. I had to get it out. Ridiculous. Like I just paid 150 for my eyelashes. You think you cared to pay for it? No. This was the biggest point I wanted to make, but I was studying earlier. I shouldn't have to say or anything. My response: I'm at work. This is a lot to process. It is because I'm just getting a shit ton of texts randomly about your nails and eyelash and all this other stuff like it matters. Guys, the things I deal with, the things I deal with. So after all that text and that long damn ass story, just annoying about her ex and then money. I guess her ex used to cover all of that, but he's an ex for a reason, so I guess he wasn't doing his job. Um, we finally talked on the phone. Now, this is the voice note you guys will hear. But before I play it for you, the only reason why I recorded is because it seemed like she tried to lie on me. It seemed like she tried to say that I took advantage of her. And I don't like that. I don't play those type of games, and I don't think any man. No means no, gentlemen. Don't push yourself off on a woman if she doesn't want it. Don't, because you'll land up in jail. 99.9% of the time, they're taking her word instead of yours. So cut your losses, bro. And you're not rich like these other dudes out here where you could pay a lawyer and pay bail. You're stuck. So I started recording when I heard her talking crazy over the phone, like, oh, I told you no in AC and you kept going. Nah, it's never like that. She don't remember because she was drunk. So learn your lesson from that. Don't mess with drunk women. So listen to this message.
Dick
Took me
riding.
like fuck
No,
all your like took me out to eat. I can pay for that myself. Like you don't do nothing.
listen. You're talking about my son. My son got nothing to do with the conversation. I didn't
I
talk
said
bad
that you're a
about your
bad
children.
man and that you're a bad father.
You're
That's what I
saying
said.
I'm a bad father,
I said
but you don't
so.
know what's
I said
going
so. Go
on.
and see because what I said because when I know what you said, you told me that you glad that you never did nothing. I said, well, then that's crazy.
Because
When
you
you know
called
I'm
me
over. Wait,
broke.
when I'm over here taking care of the
You
twins,
called me
right? So
broke.
when I'm over here taking care of the twins, so that's why I proceeded to say
You
what I
called me
said.
broke, and I didn't do anything wrong to you. But you never called me broke when you came to AC, and I bought a room, and I took you out to dinner, and I spent. I didn't.
I
You
didn't
didn't
go
call me
to
broke then.
AC with you. I didn't go to AC with you. We met in
You
AC. What are
you're
you
call
talking
no. I
about?
said out here in New York. You never called me broke then.
You just said
You
AC.
didn't
Which
call
one
me
is it?
broke then.
You were like, listen,
You
I
didn't call me
listen.
broke then.
When you
I
walking
never
around,
called
you
you
don't even
broke
got
when
a
you
car.
came to
You don't
me
even
and
got a
talked
car.
about your financial
Baby, you
problems.
paid for
I ain't
dinner.
called
I
you
paid.
broke.
Me and my friends, we just went out to eat and spent 1,500 on that bill. Nobody cares, but you don't know.
But that's cool. That's what friends are supposed to do. Go out and have fun. That's fine. But you know what we're not about to do? Show bank accounts. We're not about to do. I have nothing to prove to you. You're calling me
Okay.
broke for what? Because I didn't spend money on you.
Never offered to pay for my nails. That's why.
So
You got, did you,
because
do you
then I'm broke.
understand?
Then
Do
I'm
you
broke because I didn't do
understand
that.
that? Are you clearly?
Now, after hearing all of that, the last messages when we got off the phone, because it was more. I just didn't get to record all of that. She basically caught me recording her because I stopped it and then I recorded it again. And she figured it out like, oh, I was recording. And then she was like, oh, you're a bitch. And she wanted to fight me. So the last messages was, you never once offered to pay for my nails. Like what? Like you still ain't speak on that at all. Knew you was fake ass nigga all along. Always seen a snake in the grass. And then she shared her location with me because she wanted my sister to pull up and fight her. And my mom, I don't know why. She just, yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. I know it's kind of long and really rough details, but I just wanted to shed light that a lot of men go through stuff like this, and most women are the ones that speak out and are believed, like the Me Too movement and believe all women. But I experienced stuff like this. There's another one that is a longer story, and I might have to do three parts of that. I'll definitely break that down. But that one was pretty wild. This one was a date, short term relationship. It was maybe a month and a half, you can say. But shit started hitting the fan, as y'all can see, when her money started to slow up. She didn't really have it. Stuff started to hit the fan. And I'm not saying it's not easy being a single mom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, especially if twins. But that's not my responsibility. I'm trying to get to know you. But that just goes to show that why a lot of men don't want to take single mom serious, because it's a burden. Like, we have to start doing a whole bunch of extra shit to please you guys, and at any given moment you could just walk away. You can be like, this relationship doesn't serve me no more, and I'm out. And I done built a bond. I done invested all my money, and I'm just supposed to take the L and keep it moving. So this is why most men don't want to get involved with a single mom. And for any woman that watches this video in its whole entirety, I hope you really understand. If you are a single mom and you came from a relationship that wasn't abusive, just something that could be fixed, go back to him. It's not easy out here for single moms, and I'm not saying it's easy out here for single dads, but let's be real. You guys have the kid most of the time, so listen up and pay attention. Like, she was basically dry begging. She wanted me to financially support her and her children. I mean, she may not have said it directly, like, "Oh, I need help with the twins," but she wanted me to make her life easier by taking certain, women things off of her plate. Like she said, like, oh, her lashes, her nails. What, me doing that every 2 weeks or a month? I'm spending an extra $1,500, $2,000 on you to make you feel better, and I barely even get to fuck that. You're all the way in South Jersey, but you gonna drop your kids off and come see me every weekend, and you're still on your ex? That's what I want men to realize. She was still on her ex. That dude built real estate in her brain, and I would have to come in there with a demolition team and knock all of that down. But I ain't feel like doing that. Women have to heal. Men have to heal. She was unhealed, even though she acted like she was, and I healed her. I just made her tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, that she was a healed person and she needed time to herself. But, you know, as you can see, in the messages, her name has the little stop sign thing next to it because she's blocked. Because she started wilding, calling my phone and saying all this other crazy shit. Men, protect your peace. Any woman that acts crazy and start doing this outlandish, block them. The coochie is never that good because either she's gonna kill you or you're gonna end up in jail or you're gonna lose a lot of shit. It's never worth it. So this is my story, and then I'm gonna do another one. I have another girl with way more messages, a whole bunch of voice notes, a lot of voice recordings, and that's going to be a long one. And I'm probably going to do that in 3 parts. But make sure you never ignore red flags. And this is my story. Thank you.